and not blessed the fight is right. Now this time you're bringing somebody with you now. You're bringing someone with you now. I mean, who you got with you? Who you got with you? See who you
This is
got with you?
Coach. This is Coach GT, Coach Gerald Tucker. This is my second coach in my corner, but damn near like my head coach too. Just added him to the team right before the Emma Colton fight back in December.
Okay. Well, we start the show. We say dream it, believe it, become it. And I say come on down. Usually we got my brother Babatunde Ajayi with me, the trainer Andy Yard, but they're in camp right now. So while they're in camp, so they couldn't even bless to see our gorgeous little sister. But yo, Coach Tucker, I hear a lot of good things about you. You know, I see you work with Floyd. It was Mickey Bay that came to me. The spirit Mickey Bay, my guy, and Mickey was saying he young but he old. And like, you know what I mean? He said, he knows the business, a good coach, great coach. So like I see you over here now, and I see you just witnessed Savannah Marshall's, and we got to give him credit where it's due. That was a devastating knockout, right?
Agreed. Agreed.
Now I ain't gonna lie to you, I was away with the kids, and then my phone starts popping, 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 popping. My phones are popping, and like they said, oh man, Savannah Marshall, she looked like a demon, like a monster, right? And I said, okay, but I know that you beat Herman a few years ago,
Yeah.
right? Are you looking at this fight now like there's more to bite on it now because she just fought somebody that you fought, and on the record books, it looked like she's putting a more impressive performance than what you did.
Oh, you can't say that it's more impressive just because she knocked the girl out. If you look at the first two rounds, that was shit. That was trash. She missed all her punches. The girl was landing punches on her. She was frustrated. The girl was awkward, just like I said she would be. But everybody want knockouts, but I look at the actual performance. So congrats on the knockout and everything, but she didn't look better than me than when I fought FMK. That was 10 rounds of a mastery performance that I put on FMK, and I beat the shit out of her. And that's how Savannah Marshall knew to hit her with the hook, because I knocked the hell out of FMK with that same hook multiple times in the fight. But she had less miles on her when we had fought. But I know that definitely, like, that 10 round fight took a lot out of her, and she's only fought 3 times in the past 3-4 years. So congrats to Savannah Marshall, but her performance wasn't better than mine just because she knocked the girl out.
Oh, we just a little glitch, but we ain't got a glitch now. I'm seeing that some certain questions are coming in here now. I'm saying this like in your approach to fight Savannah Marshall, I thought you came on the show. I thought you was highly impressive in your last. But as far as I'm
Yeah.
concerned, that's the best. For me personally, that's the best I've seen you box. I'm just being real. You know what I mean, Coach Tucker, salute. But I'm just being real. That is the best. That's the that's
Yeah, goes down to,
yeah,
yeah, of course.
right. That's the best that I've seen you box.
I
Are
can
we gonna
agree.
are we gonna see more of that kind of style for you, like moving forward? Because there's talk about you and Savannah Marshall in the summer in the UK.
No, so that's definitely solidified. We are going to fight in the summer. We just don't know what date yet. But yeah, I want to look better every fight. I know knockouts are big and knockouts are important, but the main thing is to win. And then you want to win and also look good. My main thing is, if I can go in there and just knock everybody out, I will have bad performances. But I go in there and I show some great skills, some great defense. And like the fight with me and Marshall, everybody keeps talking about she's got the power, but Clarissa got the skills. I got power too. And I can guarantee you that when we fight, she's not going to stand there and bang with me. I know for a fact she not. Because Peter Fury is already switching his tune now. First it was, oh, Clarissa, oh, Savannah will knock Claressa Shields out. Now he's saying that, oh, Claressa Shields is a superb boxer puncher, but Savannah Marshall she's also a puncher, and she got great boxing skills. So now he want to talk about her boxing skills, but up at first they was saying, oh, she gonna knock me out. Now he understand, like, she not gonna knock me out. She gonna have to do a lot more in order to beat me, and she do not possess the tools to do that. That's just the truth about it.
Okay, then, yo, coach, I don't want you to, Coach Tuck, I don't want you to let off too much of your game plan. But what things did you see Savannah Marshall last night do really well, and what things do you think like she could improve on?
I'm so glad he asked you that question. Don't
Yeah,
ask me
nah,
that shit.
I'm
'Cause
wish you would have asked you
what?
because this is a
Ah!
question. Because it wasn't enough time.
Yeah, can you talk up a little bit, please, champ? Speak up a little bit more. I can hardly hear
Can
you.
you hear me? Can you
Yeah,
hear me
yeah,
now?
yeah.
I don't think it was enough time in the fight for her to show any positives. The knockout came all of a sudden after, like Clarissa just said, 2 rounds of maybe she lost the first round for sure.
Yeah.
But I think the second round might have been a win or a draw. But and then the knockout came, so it wasn't nothing happened. It wasn't enough time in that fight for me to see anything positive.
I just seen a bunch of slow punching. I seen Femke able to make her miss. I seen her having her hands down, looking real whatever. And then I seen her kind of get frustrated third round and try to take it to Femke and decide she wanted to land some punches. Landed punches because Femke chin was in the air the whole night, first round, second round, and third round. And she caught her with the same hook that I caught her with in my 10 round fight with her. So she put her out, which is good for her, but it wasn't really, like I said, it wasn't no great performance besides the knockout. I think us as boxing fans, we look at the fight and we say, oh, the knockout, she's such a great fighter, but it's like you wouldn't want to watch that fight for 10 rounds. You wouldn't want to watch it for six because it was just, it was terrible up on both girls' end.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is this: I just watched the fight, right?
Yeah.
And at first, I was just getting like loads of messages coming through onto my phone, and I'm seeing the knockout. And very rarely do we see in female professional boxing, historically, do we see devastating knockouts like that?
Sure.
That's what we saw yesterday. So you have to forgive the general consensus that's going to be looking and saying, oh man, you know, we've seen a big knockout. And a lot of people don't really appreciate boxing skill because I thought that you should have got a little bit more praise. Well, more praise than that, how you demonstrated in your last fight. But it seemingly
That's
now is like
that's
people
okay.
that no, I'm
That's
just being
okay.
real.
Yeah.
One
I
of these
just hope
things
that Savannah Marshall brings that punching power with her um in the summer. I want to make sure I told her to make sure she bring it with her because when I beat her, I don't want to hear no excuses. I don't want to hear nobody saying, "Oh, you only beat her because of this." Y'all said not y'all, but majority of everybody is saying Savannah Marshall is going to knock me out because her punching power is just too devastating and she hit too hard. And I'm
you've
going to
never
show
been
up
knocked
in the
down though.
summer. I've been knocked down by Hannah Gabriels in like the first round,
That
even in my first fight at 160. But I came back and won a unanimous decision.
I
But the
don't.
thing
I
is,
watched that fight. I didn't think that was a real knockdown. I don't think that was a real
Savannah
knockdown.
Marshall will not be able to knock me down. She won't be able to hurt me, and she gonna be on her toes boxing the entire fight. That's what she's gonna
Okay.
do. Cause if she stand there and bang with me, she gonna get hurt.
All right. Let me say big up to Monty Singh. He's just sent in a questionnaire. He says, "Evening, Spencer. I'm a big Clarissa fan. See her picking off Marshall all night long. Easy win. I see a late stoppage or easy points win. I see Clarissa as a humble person, and I don't see that with Marshall in the interviews. Would you like to
Oh,
address that, my sister?"
uh, agree. Of course. You know, a lot of people mistake my confidence as cockiness. And the thing is, I only speak facts, and I work hard to be where I am. So I am very humble, but I'm also just a go getter. Um, he said something that a lot of people don't want to say. It's going to be a late stoppage, or what else did he read there?
Big points, I think.
Or a big points loss.
Yeah.
I have the potential to knock out Savannah Marshall, and people are trying to they're trying to exit that out because Marshall has fought against a bunch of bums and been able to build a record up. But truth being, she knows I can knock her out. Peter Fury knows I can knock her out. And he better have a great game plan for her to not get knocked out because I got two things going in my favor. I can knock her out late stoppage or I can beat her up on the point system. It doesn't matter. But either or, Her only chance of beating me is to knock me out, and she's too damn slow to hit me. So I'm trying to figure out what's she gonna do.
Okay,
That's the
like
real question.
I tweeted earlier today, and I see this fight very reminiscent of the 1981 September 1981 Sugar Ray Leonard versus Tommy Hearns because of you guys' stature, because of the fact that you are the Olympic gold medalist, or two-time Olympic gold medalist. Uh,
Okay.
the fact that like female boxing is not female boxing anymore; it's just boxing because the skills that you demonstrated. I'm seeing a lot of fighters on the come up now. A lot of female fighters on the come up now. I don't look at it. I don't really divide the two. Before, hands on heart. When I used to box and all the rest of it, I was very, very cynical about female boxing. But I remember seeing you in the 2012 Olympics. I said, this girl can fight. I remember that because that's when we
Yeah.
started talking. 'Cause I remember sending you a message on Twitter, and then we was talking from back then. I'm seeing like now with other female fighters coming through as well, like Katie Taylor and stuff. I think the gap is shortening because
Agreed.
the work that you guys are putting in. And I would like to see. Wait there. Sorry, I've got to answer this guy. Christopher Andy saying, Hearn, Sugar Ray, come on, Spence. I'm saying that this fight here is the female equivalent. Now, Christopher, no disrespect. You're going to have to wake up very early in the morning to watch more boxing than me or to even historically know as much fights that I've seen. So I can make comparisons. And if I'm turning around saying that this is the female equivalent, look at the size of Savannah Marshall. She's very tall. How tall, Savannah?
You know what? She about 5'11", but
10
Right.
5'11" is
yeah,
like
yeah, but
190.
she's not that much taller than me than what I thought. When we faced off, I was like, oh, you done got short. You must have been drinking that alcohol. She done got shorter for sure,
Okay. Well,
which is
she's
good for
very
me.
tall.
Uh,
She's rangy. She's got a no decent jab. She's got a very, very good jab. And she got pop on the end of the jab. So as far as I'm concerned,
good jab.
she's she has got a good jab. You know what I mean? Maybe you don't want to give her no credit, but I got to be
Uh,
real. She has.
Look, I'm gonna be real. I haven't seen no good jab. I've seen her be long and rangy and put the jab out there. But when you talk about a good jab, that's a jab that can pump for 10 rounds without getting tired and have that steam they had first to the last round. I haven't seen that. But if you want to say she got good jab, we're
She,
gonna find
you
out
know
in the summer.
yeah. What I have to go say, she has because her jab is more of a rangefinder to set up other shots.
Yeah,
And
I understand
she does
that. Yeah.
right. And I'll say yesterday she did pump that out, and I can't. You know what I mean? This is not on my behalf a Savannah Marshall slagging off exercise because you're on the show. If everybody knows that you're my sister, right? So, but it's not. What I am saying is for her attributes, what she's got, and like I said, it's very rare that we see female boxing and to see someone get knocked out. Not since like Ann Wolf used to knock people out,
Yeah.
but right.
Against Vonda Ward. Yeah.
Right. Oh, that was a horrible knockout, right? But when I'm looking on this now, I'm saying I'm saying, and in this fight, you'll be the Sugar Ray in the fight, right? Because you show, especially in your last fight, the way you were stepping off guard, you were stepping off your trajectory range, and as you stepped off, then you be coming out with a right hand left hook, and then you throwing back the jab. Very rare that we see someone throw the left hook, male or female, throw a left hook, then come back with a jab. You throwing like a left hook, then you throwing a double jab off of the back of it. I know it's certain things that you've been working with Coach Tucker on the pads. That's a rarity. You know what I mean? So when I looked at that, I was saying, well, Clarissa's showing me a different facet to her game now because she's showing me that she's multifaceted. That's what I liked. That's what I like. That's what I enjoyed. I enjoy seeing that in boxing. Do you think she could take it downstairs in the body? Do you think she could take it downstairs? Coach Tucker, Coach, I'm asking Coach this. Do you think that Savannah
Hey,
Marshall could take it downstairs?
ain't no need to think because we gonna find out.
Okay,
We going straight to it to find out.
Hmm.
right. There's talk that the fight's meant to be not in London. The fight is going to be up in most with Newcastle, like up like close to the hometown.
Nope. That's inaccurate.
It's
Me
not.
and Savannah Marshall will be fighting in London or Manchester, somewhere of that nature. We're not going to fight in her hometown. And Ben knows better, and boxing knows better. So does Sky. Why would the champion who holds most of the belts come and fight her in her hometown. I'm already giving her fighting in the USA to come over here to the UK and fight. So we're not going to fight in her backyard. No, we're not.
You're not. I'm
No.
saying, seeing as you being the American fighter, what difference would it make that you going to her backyard? Because you come to the UK, you're going to her backyard anyway.
Well, sort of, kind of. I won the Olympics here, and London is a more neutral ground than what Newcastle is
Mm.
for our fight. See, when you a fighter of my stature, you have to look at all those things. Sometimes the cheering in the crowd can persuade the judges. So therefore, we're not going to go somewhere where where 90%, 95% of the crowd will be cheering for her. In London, I have more fans because I won the Olympics there, and I have a huge following there. So yes, she will bring her fans from Newcastle, but also it'll also bring my fans from America and London to fight. So it's a more neutral ground. Like, it's not neutral, but it's more neutral than what Newcastle is. 100%.
Okay, okay, okay.
Yeah.
So since you've been over here, you been doing any training, sis? Coach, what she be
Yeah.
doing, Coach Tucker? What she be doing? Tell me the gossips, bruv.
We've been doing a 45-minute workout because she
We
she
can't hear you, Coach. You got to talk up, bruv. Talk up
I
a little
said
bit.
we've been doing like a 45-minute workout where we run like 2 miles and then we go straight to the boxing right after.
Okay. Yes, big up Country Don. Somebody just asked me on here, what is Coach Tucker's credentials? Coach, you want to tell people a little bit about yourself, sir?
I fought amateur from '94 to 2000. As an amateur, I won about 10 to 12 national titles. I got a gold medal at the Pan American Games.
Pup,
I was an Olympic alternate for 1916 with Mayweather, Judah,
pup.
Tarver. I turned pro. I went undefeated 5-0 before I found out that my brother was killed, and I had to go home for a funeral. And I retired from boxing.
Okay.
So I retired
Okay.
undefeated. I had 2 more fights 15 years later. So I retired at 7-0. Credentials as a
Incredible.
trainer. I trained Clarissa, the GWOT. I trained the GOAT and Floyd. I trained Tyron for his entrance into
Tyron
boxing,
Woodley.
and I trained Adrian Broner. And I have a couple more announcements to make here soon in the next month or two.
Salute. If Tundi was on here now, you see, Tundi's meant to be in camp, right? But Tundi's just jumped on here to say this. Baba Tundi Ajayi, who's a co-host of the show, he says, bless up the GWOT Clarissa stood on my balcony and said, one day I want to fight in the O2. And I said to her, we're going to make it happen. Summer 2022. It's gonna happen. Dream it, believe it,
Believe
become
it,
it. And
become
I
it.
remember because we was there. I remember when we was on the balcony. You looked over at the O2, like in Tundi's boastful apartment, and we looked over the yeah, he's got a terrific apartment. And we looked over, and you said like, yeah, I'm gonna be fighting them. I remember because Tundi said it's gonna happen, sis. It's gonna happen. And now look, it's happening. Like it must be a kind of a great buzz and everything else, that all of this is happening for you right now. It must be a great buzz.
Yeah, it's exciting, to be a part of one of the biggest fights in women's boxing. To, you know, to be going in there against somebody who they're considering the biggest puncher in women's boxing, right? At this time. And
They said in the history.
this ain't a history. She ain't hitting harder than the motherfucker in a wolf.
I swear.
But well, it's just a great story, also to see that she's working with Peter Fury, and she gives Peter Fury all the thanks to her becoming a better fighter, and it's gonna be great. I'm actually happy that they have an opponent for me, and it's great that whatever her beat me in the amateurs happen, because
You're 17. Does that really count?
you know what, this what I say. Yes, I lost my only fight 10 years ago, right? In the amateurs. 3 months later, I won everything. I left the amateur rank 77 wins and 1 loss. And I lost my 26th fight. So that means that I was on a 51 fight win streak before I even turned pro. And then now I'm 12-0 pro. And I just find that if she can live off of a win that happened 10 years ago, it just shows that they really need a woman fighter in the UK to mean something. So it's great that I was able to do something after the loss to her and continue to be great. Because if I would have fell off the radar and not really won much, nobody would think too much of this fight. But the fact that I've been able to do everything and she's been able to live off my name for all these years, that's why they're saying that the fight's going to be competitive and she's going to do this and she's going to do that. But that's just them wanting to discredit how great I am, because everything I've done in the past 10 years, they are forgetting that her 4 years in the amateur, she did nothing. She didn't medal in world championships. She didn't win no Olympic medals. Not even bronze, 4th place. And then we turned pro, and she said that I'm not better than her. I just got a chance at the belts before her. And I find that kind of comical, because if you want it, so you telling me that somebody who you don't like and somebody who you beat in the amateurs and you're so much better than, she's getting all this clout. She's fighting main event on Showtime, main event on HBO, main event on the Zone. You see me making all this money, getting all these belts, and you're telling me, and she turned pro before me, and she was signed with Floyd Mayweather. So you're telling me that you're the better fighter and that you just weren't gifted the opportunities. One reason why Floyd dropped her from his promotion is because she talked all that stuff and said she was the only person to beat me. And when he tried to get her to fight to become a world champion, her and her coach kept saying she wasn't ready to take those steps. That's why he dropped her from his promotions.
What's gonna happen when you two fight, young lady?
I'm gonna whoop Savannah Marshall's ass. That's what's gonna happen. Plain and simple. However it gotta get done. If she wanna brawl, we can brawl. If she wanna box, we can box. If she wanna do both, we can do both. I know I'm gonna have a ball punching her in the face, punching her in the mouth. I'm gonna have a great time. And every punch she gonna feel for the past 10 years of her talking trash to me and trying to, discredit all my achievements. She's gonna feel all of that. But she gonna get beat worse than Hammer did. Guarantee it.
Well, how is she trying to discredit your achievements? Because your achievements speak for themselves. You know what I mean? The free weight world champion. You know what I mean? You've done it in reverse from super middle, and super welterweight.
She's saying that she always says that if I would have fought her in the pros, or if I was fighting against her for those world titles, that she would have won. Or she's saying that the only reason that I did it is because I was given the opportunities to fight these girls and she wasn't, which is a bold-faced lie. She doesn't want to fight against Raquel Miller. It's a couple girls who I know that she doesn't want to fight. She didn't want to fight against the girls here in the U.S. She didn't want to fight against them. She wants to go back to London and do what they're doing for her now, giving her girls who are easy to beat last-minute replacements, build her up. Because in the U.S., I'm sorry, but us American fighters aren't able to do that, especially in the women division. You got to get out there and show you that you know how to fight. Like they don't want to see you get in there and just knock a girl out who got a losing record. You actually got to fight somebody worth something in order to be considered and respected as a woman fighter in the U.S. In the UK, just like with Huey Fury, same thing with Savannah Marshall. All they do is give them easy opponents and talk about how great they can be, and then when it's time for them to be world champions and fight against world championship caliber, they don't perform.
So what you're literally saying, sis, is that they over here, like, we like to pad out guys' records instead of putting them into hard fights. Is that what you're saying?
That's what they're doing with Savannah Marshall. Yes.
Okay. We got a question in from Late Show 42. Thank you for the $5, Late Show. Stamina for Sale, the GWOT, and GT. North Carolina rocking with you. Let's go, champ. They know what time of day it is. They really do
Thank
know what
you.
time of day it is. And Monty Singh again, thank you for the £20 donation. That will go nicely to get Tundi, because Tundi's bleaching his teeth. You see Tundi right now, his teeth are really white. I'm saying, Tundi, you're putting bleach in your teeth, bro. Right. Clarissa, Monty Singh says, Clarissa just need to keep turning her round. Marshall comes in front footed in a line. Clarissa can turn her around and around all night long. Respect to having a neutral venue. Love to know Spencer's thoughts on this. My thoughts on the venue. It don't matter to me. It doesn't, because when we're thinking about the fans and you thinking like the fans are gonna infiltrate the judges. Right now in the UK, a lot of the judges have been under inspection because there's been some bullshit decisions that's been going on right now.
Yeah.
Okay, right, and it's been bullshit decisions that's gone on with two Brit fighters. So, which was the right exactly, which was the big one recently, Jack Catterall versus Taylor. There was a lot going on. So, and a couple of the judges got demoted from their position because of it. And then we've seen
Dang.
certain fights that have gone on after that where it's been close, and we're thinking because they're the home fight, you're going to get the nod, and they haven't got the nod. So they're really trying to brush it up. So for that, I'm grateful because I was one of the first people to go speak out on it. Do I think it's massive corruption? No, I just think it's massive incompetence on certain things. Now, you've been the American fighter, and I get it because you're saying, well, you've come here, you've got a fan base in the UK, you've got a fan base in London, because you know how it goes. When you come to London and you hook me up, you know we're on it for you. So I'm saying it don't really make a difference. But I get where Clarissa's coming from, that she's saying, listen, I have a synergy and an energy because I came to the UK as a young lady in 2012 and I rocked and shocked it and I won Olympic gold medal and people know who I am in London. Let me do the thing
Yes.
in London. Simple as that. And also, you're the GWOT, and the GWOT wants to fight in the capital, and London's the capital. Simple as that of the UK. Ben Oldham, this guy is the big. Listen, seriously, Clarissa, can you just say massive big up to Ben Oldham?
Massive big up to Ben Odom. Oh, he gave you a
Yep,
hundred
yep.
pound donation.
Listen, Ben Oldham,
Support the
thank you
bro,
very much
man.
for the £100. He says, Clarissa, you are a credit to the sport. Stay focused and positive. Spence, keep up the good work. Listen, let me tell you this. My black book's ridiculous. I've got everybody in my black book. But there is no one who responds to me quicker than Claressa Shields. And that's the truth. Nobody. Nobody. I'll say, yo, Chris, yo, you're in town. I didn't even
He
know
just
you was
hit
in
me
town.
up yesterday. He hit me up yesterday. Like, hey, I get you on at 10 o'clock. I'm like, okay, cool.
Yeah, straight. No long thing. No, you can listen. I'm speaking to certain people. I'm gonna keep this thing 100, right? I'm speaking to certain people, right? They accomplish a quarter of what you've accomplished, right?
Maybe, ooh, I know they
Right, a
be
quarter. I ain't calling no names because they right. They
I
they've
know.
accomplished a quarter of what you've accomplished. And I say, yo, you're gonna jump on the show, and they're like, oh yeah, Spence, you got to talk to my agent. I said, well, you talk to your agent. I'm talking to you right now. What you doing? Talking to your agent. Now you got to click, put the phone down. So big up Clarissa Shields. Thank you very much, Ben Olden, for jumping on. It's all love. And Baba Tundi Ajay is coming up here again. Tundi, you're meant to be resting right now because you got to get up early in the morning to go do your work, right? Right. Tony's saying, don't like the way the security stopped Clarissa from getting into the ring after the
Man.
fight. Touch on that, please. I saw that.
So,
Tell us what was going on.
so,
Thank you very much, Baba
okay,
Tundi.
so listen today. One is no disrespect to the security guard because he is a nice guy. I believe his name is Adam.
Yeah, Adam's cool. He's cool.
He's a cool security guard. He was with me in Cardiff, with me over there up in Newcastle. Does his job. We even ate dinners together. He's a nice guy. I believe he was just doing his job. Now this is the thing that bothered me. Nobody was doing their job on the night when I was fighting in Cardiff when she got in the ring and disrespected me, and that's why I had GT had the camera up recording from my phone to show the fans like, no, do not think that that the Newcastle was just so hostile that I didn't want to get in the ring and face off with Marshall. No, that is not it. They didn't want to let me get inside of there. And I argued back and forth with Adam because it was like, no, I wanna let this girl know, like, congrats and bring that punching power with you in the summer. And then I just got in her face and I told her, you wanna beat me so bad. You wanna be the GWOT, you wanna have all these belts. I want to see you knock me out in the summer. Make sure you bring that punching power. And then I told her to her face, you ain't shit. You ain't shit. You ain't nothing. And I told her that to her face. And that's the thing. I think everybody is. I think just the world in general is like it's just like they're okay with black women being disrespected, but then when it comes to the other side, they want to protect her. You know what I'm saying? And they don't want me to say nothing that's gonna shake her. Like it was so much like okay, leading up to her fight, I had got here on Friday, like the day of the weigh-in. I had made it here, and my driver is driving me to my hotel. Crown. It was a Crown Plaza. She was staying at the Crown Plaza. He pulls me over by the gas station. He like, we gotta stay here for 5 or 10 minutes. I'm like, for what? He like, oh, I've been notified to leave you to park you here because Savannah Marshall was in the is in the lobby and we don't want you guys to run into each other. Sir, excuse me. I just flew 8 hours over here. Get me to my damn hotel now. Because even if I do see her, I'm not focused on trying to be a distraction to her before her fight because I want her to win. But it was like the fact that we put over to a gas station and then he's like, oh, we gotta wait here 5 minutes. I'm like, sir, drive me to my hotel now. Right now. So then
Did he drive you to the hotel?
yeah, he drove me to my hotel. So then when I get there, he like, oh, I just got to call that. She just pulled off. So what? Who gives a fuck about what she's doing? I want to get out this car. I want to get off the plane. I've been flying 8 hours to come over here because one, I wasn't going. I hadn't planned on coming to the fight. They hit me up and wanted me to come. Let's just be clear. And Savannah Marshall says like, oh, Clarissa's been looming in the background for some time. I've never even watched a full fight of this girl. Seriously. So past that, when I went to the weigh-ins, they didn't even want me and her walking past each other. Like they were like, "Oh, you go this way and Marshall go that way." Like they were like so protective of her because really deep down inside, Savannah Marshall is intimidated by me. She's intimidated, and she knows that I can say something to her to make her mind switch to something else. So
Okay.
they wanted to keep us away from each other. And even after the fight, even after when she won, I said, that's crazy. She was able to jump right in the ring or right in my face after I fought. But now here I am trying to say something to her and y'all want to keep me from getting inside the ring? I'm like, that's just whack. And it's also unfair. Whoever decision it was. I'm happy that he moved out the way and I was able to go on there and do my thing because regardless, I'm going to sell this fight and it's going to be the biggest fight up in women's boxing. Not because of who she is, but because of who I am and how I'm going to sell it.
Okay. Right. Bobby Wright. They've got big up Bobby Wright is our guy. Bobby Wright absolutely love this lady. Skills pay the bills. And I've also got to say, and she's got the heart to play the part. Recognize that part there. You got the skills to pay the bills, but Claressa Shields, whoa, you got the heart to play the part. Gonna keep on moving on here. Yo, Coach Tucker, Coach. I see like your style of fighting, like when you were fighting yourself, and for anyone who's just jumped on here right now has got to realize that Coach he was serious. You know what I mean? 96 alternative for the Olympics. That was in Atlanta, right? It's me you're talking to. I know everything, right?
Yeah, I was only 17 years old. I was the youngest on the team. I came out of nowhere. I was only fighting a little over a year.
Yeah. So when the fact of like you didn't do the aspiration for the pros and all the rest of it, why did you take up training?
Training just came. I never planned on it ever. A kid from my hometown, he called me and he said, I moved to Vegas. I was living in Vegas as well. He said, I just moved to Vegas and my parents said they grew up with you in your neighborhood and they told me that I should get in touch with you to see if you would be willing to train me. And I went down to check him out. He was working with he was signed to 50 Cent's promotional company SMS. And I decided. And after watching him one day, I said he looked like something I could make better. And that was my very first day of training. So it was just a phone call out of the blue from a stranger.
Okay. But you're doing quite well at it right now. You're doing quite good at it right now. Cause I see you work with Floyd as well. What was that like?
Oh man, well Floyd was the person I went pro with when I when I went from amateur to pro. So he was my manager. I lived with him. I was his protege. So it was just like rewinding the hands of time, just going back to brother and brother, because I was always like his younger brother. He used to say out his mouth that I was the younger brother he never had. So it's just like, just catching up on old times, and the vibe is almost like Roger is right there with us, and the chemistry is crazy. It's unexplainable.
Yeah, y'all funny. Even when Floyd came down to my camp before I fought against Emma and was spending days with us in camp, it was cool. You can tell that y'all like family.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all
Yeah,
good.
I miss Roger. I spend a lot of time with Roger, um,
Facts, man.
and that was because of Tundi. Because Tundi went out to Vegas with a couple of his fighters, and we're talking. This is a hot minute ago now. I mean, this is nearly a decade ago. So Tundi goes out there with his fighters, and he's doing his work. And this one I was promoting, so he had all these fighters wear Stamina for Sale t-shirts. He got Roger in the Stamina for Sale t-shirts, and then like when I met Roger, we was talking. So when I come into the gym, everyone knows I'm a boxing historian, so you can't bring no dates. I've got more dates than a Muslim on Ramadan. So he comes and like you got the picture frame with all the fighters in it. Say, oh, who's he and who is he and like Ellie Sexback filmed it, and he goes, nah, this little motherfucker know boxing, and that one meant a lot to me.
Oh yeah,
And
for sure.
yeah, so but I see the pad work that you do is very reminiscent of Roger, very very reminiscent of Roger.
Yeah. The foundation of it is Rogers, and I tweaked and twisted some things that I thought needed tweaking, and I added stuff to it that I think that Roger would have added to it had he had been fully himself upstairs. Towards the end, I think he would have added more stuff because there's more stuff to add, to put on your own self, and so I didn't do anything. I didn't go astray with the mid-work style that Roger did. I just complimented it, I think. And hold on 1 second to go on what you said about the historian and being educated and knowledgeable in the sport. And the guy said that you can't compare this to that. The fight, the Tommy Hearns and Sugar Ray comparison. You can. The reason why people like that don't get what we get. Like I felt your comparison all the way. Like it was real strong. Because we collect more data when we watching fights. They just watching the fight. We watching everything. So we see, even if somebody slip and fall in one round and she slip and fall in another, we say we can compare those fights. We're not saying that she's better than Sugar Ray Leonard or that she's better than Tommy Hearns. His height, his style, his skills, his the vibe, the chemistry before the fight, it's the matchup. It's a lot of things. So don't let nobody ever bring you down because you know too much.
Bro,
like
I don't think
you told him you killed him with what you said too. So I know he over there crying in the couch right now. Whoever that was.
Bro, I know. Listen, man. Like I said, you got to wake up really early to say you study more boxing than me. I've been. I'm saying really early. You have to get up really, really early. Like, really early. Like, when that alarm clock goes off and you think, oh man, I'll get 5 more minutes. No, you go get that 5 more minutes. I've been up for an hour. You mean? But I mean, like this. I love this sport, and I mean, when I'm saying like I love this sport, I love it so much. And I've been very fortunate that I made my passion become my paycheck. So I mean, I imagine like I get paid a lot of money. ESPN. I was on Sky Sports for 8 years. I mean, before then I was on Satanic Sports. I'm really, really fortunate that I made my passion become my paycheck because I just speak about this stuff. I remember like I went on a speaking gig in Pakistan, right? We went around to all the sporting academies and I was invited over by the Prime Minister of the country, Imran Khan. And when my mother saw the check that I got, she said, for years I've been telling you to shut your mouth. You better start talking, son. Because when she saw right. So it's all, it's all good. It's all good. Anyway, who's that? Lady Shan, done them seasons, just said, how did Clarissa feel when Floyd signed Marshall and not herself, considering they are from the similar era and because of her achievement also?
So
Talk the things, we want to know.
I actually had this conversation with Floyd recently. Coach DT was right there, and I asked him, and Floyd Mayweather doesn't sign fighters. It's somebody under him who signs fighters, and he didn't even remember that he signed Savannah Marshall or that she was even signed to his promotion. He didn't even remember because I told him, I'm like, he telling me like, yeah, you the greatest, you the GOAT, like you the female TBE. And I'm like, man, Floyd gone, man. I'm like, because you signed homegirl over me. He like, who? And I told him, I said, Savannah Marshall. He's like, who? I said, yeah, it's a video of you saying like, "Oh, we got the only girl signed to TMT who beat Claressa Shields 2-time Olympic gold medalist." He like, "I promise to God it ain't no video like that." I'm like, "What?" Coach, pull it up. So Coach pulled it up. And he was like, ah. He was like, they was feeding me lines. Like, I got over 400 some fighters signed. Like, I don't even remember this. I'm like, I know you don't, but I'm telling you, like, on the outside looking in, me being who I am, how it made me feel. Like, dang, Floyd, don't mess with me like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, and he from Grand Blanc, Michigan. I'm from Flint, Michigan. And you know what I'm saying? And I told him that, but also at the end of the day, I was able to have that conversation with Floyd. And like, it's a business, and you know, I'm a professional fighter. That on my pro debut, I was paid 50,000. You know, and women don't make that kind of money in boxing. So now to be where I am now, making the money that I'm making, just shows that. And I don't think that Floyd had really caught on to women's boxing at that time. Even the guy that was signing the women, who had signed Savannah Marshall, I don't think he knew how big women's boxing would become or how big it can be. And he was trying to build something and build somebody with a name or something of that nature. So not really no hard feelings toward Floyd, but I was able to have that conversation with him because I'm a realist and everybody know I'm a keep it G at all times. So when Floyd was in my camp and we was talking and joking and stuff, I did mention that. And he told me to my face, you are the greatest. You are the female TBE, which I guess makes up for all that.
All right, who's this? Jackie Boy Johnson says, Spencer, ask Clarissa what she does if she beats Savannah. You should word that differently. You speak to the GOAT. You say when she beats Savannah. But all right
Yeah.
then, does she offer her a rematch?
You know what? They were talking the same kind of language when I got ready to fight against Hammer. Oh, when you beat Hammer, it's going to be a close fight. It's going to be a rematch. Or when Hammer beats you, it's going to be a rematch. And the thing was, I kept telling everybody, the way I beat the hell out of Hammer, she's not going to want a rematch. And this was before the fight. And when I fought against Hammer, I destroyed her. And people understood what I was saying. And Hammer never asked for a rematch because she know there is no match. She could not match me. And the same thing will be with Savannah Marshall. When I beat Savannah Marshall, she's going to run a 168 and fight whoever the champions are there. And there's not going to be any more talk of me and Savannah Marshall no more after I beat her.
Okay. So how's it work with you having two coaches now? You former two-weight world champion John David Jackson, and people don't realize how good John David Jackson was. They don't. I'm gonna tell you this now. I was a child. When John David Jackson came over to. I was 15 years old when he came over to England to defend his first world title, and that was against a man called Chris Pyatt. Now, Chris Pyatt in the Ring magazine was voted as the prospect to look out for in the junior middleweights, and John David Jackson played with him.
Yep, I
Seriously,
heard about this fight.
right now, no, I want people to just realize anything I say. And this is 1990. I think it was like March of 1990. Go and watch that fight, and I'm telling you, John David Jackson was actually a genius because he could do things so awkwardly and make you look stupid, but it'll always be countering. And it took
Yep.
great men. And people don't realize that to lose to Bernard Hopkins ain't no shame. Bernard Hopkins is a great. There ain't no shame. And that was tail end of his career, right? But how does it work now? You've got these two coaches.
Man, it's like the dynamic duo, to be honest with you. I've always wanted two coaches in my corner,
Sorry to
but it
cut
was
you.
just me.
The dynamic duo is me and Tundi when we do the show with the Batman role. But go on, continue. Don't worry about it.
But I always wanted two coaches in my corner. And I wanted two coaches with two different styles. So they both hold pads different. And but I knew that when their minds got put together, that the game plan that they had for me and the stuff that they would tell me and like sparring in the corner would change. And so I've always been looking for that. And it was other coaches who I, gave chances to work with Coach John, but it just didn't mix But Coach DT and Coach John go together perfectly, even with the kind of person that I am. You know, like when I first met Coach DT, like he didn't really know much about me. He knew I was the GWOT and everything, but as far as in training, he didn't know like I'm a workhorse, and he don't got to be like on me telling me to train. Like he gonna be telling me, "Hey, champ, I think we need to take a day off because you've been going crazy." And so I know coaches used to having, fighters that he got to tell, "Hey, let's go run, let's go train, let's go do this. You got to eat healthy, let's get a massage." But it's like me, I'm already checking off all the boxes. So he really just get to enjoy just training me and teaching me, and us having great boxing conversations. Now him and Coach John, like I said, it go great together, but they have a different view of seeing things, and I believe that Coach GT is harder on me than Coach John, cause I can beat somebody up in sparring, and I'd be like, man, I didn't feel like I did good, and Coach John like, what? You beat the hell out of him, and then Coach GT like, yeah, you beat the hell out of him, but you was dropping your left hand though, you know, and and you did get hit with that hook. I know you remember that hook, and I'm like, no. He like, well, I remember. You got to make sure you keep that right, stuff like that. So it's just great to have two different point of views. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Okay. That clears it up. Blood Clot Fury. Who's kidnapped Tundi? You Cockneys don't play. No, Blood Clot Fury. Tundi is in camp right now. So he's in camp. I think they got a big
with
announcement.
with with Anthony Yard.
Yeah, he's in camp with Anthony Yard.
Okay.
Right. So, and that's the reason why. But he's on it here now. He's sending these little comments, but it's like he's in camp, and so he don't want nothing to spoil that thing. And not only that, but Tundi gets very animated. He wants to keep that energy for his fighter,
Hmm.
which I rate, which I really do rate. But it's like, and it's a nice thing as well that you come into town, because usually we do the show at 8 o'clock. But like I said, I was away. As I've come back, I was away with the family. As I come back, I was so tired. But I said, "There's no way that you're in." When you going back? Because I hear there's talk that you're going to be in Sky tomorrow. That's the talk, that you're going to be on Sky News tomorrow. The talk is that you're down at the Sky Studios. That's the talk. That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah, I think you're hearing right. We got a bunch of interviews starting at 10 o'clock in the morning till about 3.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
Sky. And I think that you're doing the gloves are off with Johnny Nelson tomorrow. That's the talk that I'm hearing.
Yeah.
You're at Savannah Marshall. Now,
Yeah.
Now I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward when that comes out. They usually put that out like uh, 10 days before fight time. So I'm looking forward to that, because for you to be out in America, but now in the UK, where it comes to boxing, we go call it as it is. Even though Ben Shalom is a young kid in this game, he's on a massive platform. So anybody
Amen.
that platform will boost anyone. Anybody could be on that platform. It's gonna boost you. I can tell you why. I was on Sky for what was it, 9 years. So you know what I mean. When you're on that platform that will boost anyone. But the thing about it is this: you could be garbage on that platform. You're gonna get boosted, but eventually you're gonna get found out. But if you can fight, like I believe that you can do, and which you've demonstrated time and time again, since I've seen you properly since 2012, you've done that. It's fitting that you're on this platform. What does it mean for you to be signed to the Boxer Group and you having your fights in the UK? What does that mean to you?
It means a lot. I think that right now the UK is one of the meccas of boxing, especially for women fighters. We're getting paid a lot to fight over here on a huge platform, being able to build up our stature and build our um
Like,
yeah, for everybody to just like to get to know us. So I'm happy that they've taken to me over here, and I had a great time performing up in Cardiff, and then going to Newcastle and watching Marshall do her thing, and now the fight is finally here between me and her to finally fight. Um, I think that me fighting here is just going to boost my whole thing. Like they're going to forget that I'm from the United States very very soon because of how much they're going to love me fighting here, and love just my attitude and love my passion for the sport. And I think that they'll have a newfound, feeling toward people that are confident. Because I know over here, everybody like, oh, we want you to be, humble and be nice and all that stuff. When it's like, no, you want us to be fighters. You want us to be fighters, but you want us to be um, sportsmanlike. But you guys don't want to take the passion away from us to where another fighter says, I'll whoop this other fighter's ass. It shouldn't be nothing wrong with that. Or speaking of your accomplishments, I think that when I'm done fighting against Savannah Marshall, that I will have a longer deal with Sky, and I'll have more fights here in the UK. And I think people will forget that I'm from the USA because they'll want to see me fight so much here. That's what I think gonna happen.
Okay. Wayne McCleary says Spence asks if Savannah will be her best opponent.
What?
Wayne McCleary has asked for me to ask you, will Savannah be your best opponent?
Nah, she won't.
Okay. Okay.
She won't be
Who
my
is?
I think the best fighter who I fought against is Hannah Gabriels, Franchon Cruz, and let me think. And then I can maybe add Savannah Marshall.
Okay.
And Savannah Marshall has a great background as far as her amateur background. Didn't accomplish a lot, but still, like, it's that experience there. We have fought against many of the same opponents in the amateurs also. Even though when she was losing everything and I was winning everything, I was on my way to the gold medals. I was beating the girls who beat her,
Okay.
right? Because we were always close to fighting each other 4 times, both world championships after 2012 and both Olympics. So the girls who she would lose to, I would beat them to get to the medal rounds or win the Olympic. Um, I don't think she made that far, or just to continue going. I know 2012, the girl I fought against that was from Kazakhstan. She had just beat Marshall on points 10-12, and then I fought the girl the next day who beat Marshall, because if Marshall would have won, me and her would have fought. But the girl beat Marshall, so I beat the girl 29 points to 11. That's why I got the highest points in the Olympics 2012 when it was on a point system. No other boxer scored 29 points but the young 17-year-old. Then we can fast forward to the World Championships. I believe that the girl from Poland beat Savannah Marshall the next day. Again, I beat up the girl from Poland. Unanimous decision.
Can I cut you off?
Yeah.
Now you see, like, what she doing? She just spitting facts. She just telling the truth. Now people gonna call her cocky and confident, and she's stuck up and she ain't humble. She need to do this, she need to do that. All she doing is telling y'all what she did, what happened. That's all she did. She not putting no exaggerations on it. Just spitting facts without even adjectives. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like I
Oh,
know all this stuff.
thank you for that. Because Roadman Science says, Clarissa, thanks for coming on and love the self belief that radiates off you. And I agree, Savannah is intimidated because every time you come close to her, she has a very nervous smile, stroke, laugh.
Yeah.
Body language says a lot. This is his opinion. What do you think, young lady?
I think she's very intimidated by me, and she should be. But she should be, because I'm on whatever you on. So whatever energy you give me, I'm gonna give it back to you 10 times more. So if you show me love, I'm gonna show you love. But if you show me that you want smoke, I'm gonna show you that fuck smoke. I'm gonna bring you fire. So
Okay.
that's just how I am. Savannah Marshall knows that I'm not to be played with. She know that. She know that. And that's why when she ran up on me up in the fight up in Cardiff, it was so many security guards. Because she know I slapped the shit out of her. She know that. And Boxer knows that. And Ben knows that. So it kind of, it's just the disrespect that they know that I don't really like. The trash talk is okay. But when you start disrespecting me, it make me tick a little different.
Okay.
So
What
Savannah
did she
Marshall is
say? What did she
intimidated.
say to you that you took as major disrespect, Clarissa?
If you fight that way against me, I'm gonna wipe the floor with you.
Yo, man, that's a good British accent you got on there, man. That's a good British accent you got right
You
there.
should hear my sister say it. Oh my little sister got the best accent. When she called me and said that, I was on the floor. She called me. It's in like early in the morning. Couple days after I fought in Cardiff. I'm like, hello. She like, rest you up. I'm like, yeah. She like, if you fight that way against me, I'm gonna wipe the floor with you. And I'm on the phone early in the morning, like, bro, do not call me no more. And we just laughed about 10 minutes and just was like, man, that we just kind of laughed because, like, man, that girl was like, we was laughing because, like, damn, she really crazy. Like, she really tried to run up on me and say that dumbass shit when I fall.
Now I'm gonna keep this thing 100. You gotta do that when you do the gloves are off. You gotta do that British accent because that's very good. It's at some point. And the thing, you know what? You know what the thing is this? What people don't get. It's like when people see they interpret self belief and confidence as, oh, you must be cocky. It's a thin line. When you're winning, it's confidence. If something goes wrong, we're glad the cocky bitch got beat. That's what this side of the thing goes, right?
Hmm.
And let's continue doing you. Because check this one out. Whether they like you or love you, let them pay to see you. That's all that matters. That's all that matters. And as long
See,
as
but
you're
the thing
confident in
that,
yourself, you're good.
see, but the thing that I just find so crazy is that, you know, if I didn't call myself the greatest woman of all time, nobody would have regarded me as that. Even though I have the accomplishments and I have the titles and I have the skill set and I beat some girls who had great resumes. If I would have never spoke it myself and said it out loud, nobody would have even thought to even look my way. And not because, oh, I'm talking, but because they want the other girls to be looked at. They want to, oh, Katie Taylor's the best. Amanda Serrano's the best. Even though if I was to fight at those weight classes, I could beat those girls. You see what I'm
Right.
saying?
Somebody did ask, like, because I remember ages ago, you said, yeah, man, if I lost weight and got rid of my butt, you'd fight Taylor. Would you consider that?
Coach, no, I'm crazy as hell. I would consider anything to prove that I'm the best. And really, like, I would consider anything to prove that I'm the best. And I can make 147. And Jessica McCaskill knows that. So that's 147. I heard that Katie was supposed to be coming up to fight against Jessica McCaskill again for the Undisputed Championship of at 147. My thing was, if you fight against Jessica McCaskill at 147, you can fight against me at 147. That was my whole thing. But Katie had said in an interview she wouldn't come to 147. And
She
that she
wouldn't.
wouldn't fight me because I'm too big. But it's like, all right, long as she don't fight against Jessica McCaskill at 147 and win those titles, she never have to worry about me ever calling her out because she is very, very small. But also it's a huge disadvantage for me to go down to that weight class anyway. But I believe that I could do it, and with whatever energy I have left, I could still win with my skills and my defense and my offensive skills against anybody. And that's not disrespecting them because I know Amanda Serrano fights 7 different weight classes all the way from 118 to 140. But I will fight either of those girls up at 147 if they wanted to. You know what I'm saying? If that was something that
Okay.
was on the table for them and me, I would do it to prove like I'm the best and they're great fighters too. And when you're great fighters, you want the best fights to happen. And the best fights in women's boxing is myself versus Savannah Marshall, a dream fight between me and Kay Taylor, a dream fight between me and Amanda Serrano. That's the way that I see it.
Okay. Okay. So let's not take the fight for granted. How do you think, like, if you was to retire from boxing, like, how would you like to be remembered?
I want to be remembered as a fighter who never backed down from nobody,
Mm-hmm.
who went to all different kind of weight classes and took on the best challenges, who fought all the number ones. I want to be remembered as somebody who never tried to take advantage of the padded up records because I can pad my record with a bunch of girls and knock them out and beat them up. But I've taken nothing but high caliber and very skillful women boxers who had former world champs and everything like that. And I just want to remember too as just like a woman who didn't take no shit. Up in women's boxing, it's so many people that just act like they can just boss us around and tell us what to do and act like we're beneath them. Even men boxers who haven't accomplished a quarter of what I've accomplished have tried to stun me. And I've been able to let them know, like, little dog, don't you ever. But I want to be remembered as being the game changer for women's boxing. The way that I speak, the way that I box and that I perform, the things that I demand. it'll make it easier for the girls coming up. It won't be a big thing for a woman to make $1 million when I'm done. It'll be like, oh, that's the norm. If you fighting for a world title, when you fight against another best fighter, you should get $1 million. It's like, that's what I want. I want them to be known as a trailblazer, somebody who stood up for myself, but also all the other women fighters who made a blueprint. You know, when it wasn't one, because when I turned pro, it wasn't no blueprint to making $1 million in women's boxing. I made the blueprint. Literally, with everything that I've done, me, my promoter, and us working together, I've made the blueprint to show a girl, look, this you can turn pro without having an Olympic gold medal, and this is the steps you take. This is what you do. This is how you get to the world titles. And I'll be able to build a generation up under me that can, you know, do that. And I just want to be known as just a great person. I think that sometimes how great I box and how mean my demeanor is in the ring overshadows the kind of great person that I am. I'm engaged now, and to be engaged at a woman at the
See the
age,
ring. I see the ring. I see the ring.
yeah, it's popping. I mean,
Yeah.
where y'all
Yeah.
at? Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. That's
But
beautiful. That's beautiful.
just to be engaged at my age shows that I'm a great woman and I'm a great person. I'm just a boxer, and I got the boxer's mentality inside the ring, but outside the ring, I love my fans. I love meeting new people, and I want to retire from boxing and be known for all of that. All
Okay.
that I just said, all of that.
All right. Ash one says Clarissa schools Savannah props for not letting Ben and Sky disrespect you constantly. I don't know what he's talking about. Disrespect? Do you feel disrespected by those guys? I don't think you do.
Well, up in Cardiff, I did scare Ben, and it wasn't on purpose. I
Take
felt
time.
like
He's
him and
new. He's
Savannah.
new to this thing, you know. He's new.
Yeah, but I felt like him and Savannah Marshall was attacking me verbally at the same
Okay.
time,
Okay.
and that put me on a high defense. And I didn't know that Ben would get in my face and say what he said, talking about some, oh, Clarissa, we know that that you consider yourself the GWOT, but we have Savannah Marshall, and I think she'll do this and she'll do that. So when he said that to me, I'm like,
Wrong thing to say.
what? Whoa. So I went off on Ben and scared the shit out of him. Not even knowing, like, I understood after, like, oh, Ben's her promoter and Salita is my promoter. Oh, but that wasn't explained to me. So when they're both attacking me, he's saying that, and then she jumping in talking her stuff. I'm like, whoa, it was just me versus them verbally, and I wanted to smack the shit out of both of them. That's and so that was a disrespect. But after realizing what it was and being having an understanding, like, look, let me and Savannah Marshall settle the fight. I don't need you getting in my face saying nothing, because my promoter don't get up in Savannah Marshall's face and say nothing, and he didn't get up in Hammer's face and say nothing. So I'm not used to a promoter getting in my face and saying stuff. So that threw me for a whole loop, and that's the disrespect that they're talking about. But I think Savannah Marshall trying to build herself up, and she likes the attention she's getting, but she got to learn the hard way how people treat people that talk like her and lose. She'll see.
Okay. Monty Singh says there's ego and then confidence. Clarissa has confidence, but is humble. Like I said earlier, Tundi enjoy the teeth bleaching. I'm telling you, Tundi's bleaching them teeth, man. Every time I see Tundi, them teeth looking whiter than white. I'm straight down. You know them Nigerians, you know how it goes. Somebody just said on here, I just saw it. Oh, boxing support. Thank you for the £5. Clarissa, you are awesome. Such a great football fighter and a brilliant character. Good luck to you. Coming from boxing support. El Cortez
Thank
says,
you.
Clarissa, the greatest. Thank you for the £5, my brother. Oh, they're all coming in. Miss Ringside. Oh, Miss Ringside. Yet the GWOT in the house. Miss Ringside, thank you for the 449. Big up yourself, Clarissa. I admire your self-belief. How do you remain focused and disciplined inside and outside of the ring? Big up yourself, Spencer. Oh, I don't need to big me up. I'm always getting big up already. You know what I mean? But it's all good. You know what I mean? It's all good. But yes, how do you stay focused and disciplined inside the ring, sis?
You know what? I really just I stay focused by looking at my old footage and making sure that I put down notes of what I want to improve on, talking with my team, saying what we need to improve on, and kind of just building off of that. But staying focused got a lot to do with like just my belief in Jesus Christ and God, my Lord and Savior. To just going to church, staying humble, um, just trying to be like not just a great boxer, but be a great person, and recognizing that there's things outside the ring that affects my mental, right? And
Okay.
also learning that and fixing that, and just dealing with childhood traumas and dealing with them, because once you deal with all your problems, it kind of makes you a better person. And just acknowledging that I'm not perfect, but you're just trying to be a very genuine person and be nice and give people second and third chances and stuff like that. But staying focused is really about like having a team around you who understand how focused you need to be, because there's time where I do get off focus and I don't want to train and I don't want to work out, but then I have coaches and I have people around me like, hey, it's time to stop eating like trash and eat better. Even my fiance, he's a fitness trainer, but he's big on my diet. He's like, hey, you can't just eat anything. Like, look, you ate good for 2 days. Now let's get back to the salads and the fish and all that stuff. So that's great there. He's also one of my strength trainers, so I be in the gym working out with him, make sure that I stay in shape. Coach DT, no drinking, no drinking and no smoking. I never smoked ever, but I do have a drink occasionally. And he's like, let's just not drink, period. So to have that kind of people around you who constantly like, I want what's best for me, but sometimes I feel like they want what's best for me more than me. But nobody wants to win and fight more than me, but they know that it takes stuff outside the ring in order for that to be right, in order for me to be the best. So having a great circle of people who want the best for you and not gonna sugarcoat and tell you like, oh, you can do whatever you want, champ, you the GWOT. It's like, no, they're like, yeah, you can do whatever you want, long as it's right, and long as it's helping you be better. So just having a great team helps me stay focused and disciplined.
Okay. Suffer me, Dan says, can we stop with the humble cap? Ben, you know damn well Savannah is a humble girl. I never said that she's not humble. What I'm
What?
saying is this, I'm saying that people don't regard Claressa Shields as being humble. I'm saying I know Clarissa. Me and Clarissa speak regularly. She's humble. Um, but what it is like when you see somebody who speaks about themselves in the third person, about their accomplishments, which is not gas talks. You're not saying, oh, well, I want to win 2 Olympic championships. I want to become world champion in 3 different ways. No, this young lady has done it. So
Yeah, talk about that
she
now.
exactly. So she's got every right to speak about herself in the way that she speaks about herself. Reason why? Because in Britain we always say the proof is in the pudding. And as they say in America, you either put up or you shut up. And right now she's putting up, so she don't need to shut up. Simple as that.
Yeah, Savannah Marshall definitely is not humble. No, she's not. To only have one world title versus a person that got 12 world titles, she should be even bound down to the fact that I'm even willing to fight her. Cause I don't. I can pick who I want to fight. Just like boxer is picking who she fights, all them little bums. I could build my record up just the same way and never even mention her, never even acknowledge her, and nobody would care. Nobody would say nothing, but I've always acknowledged her. I've always said, oh yeah, we can fight. I made Savannah Marshall an offer in 2018 when I was world champion at 168 with the WBC and the IBF. She turned us down. And this is
Okay.
when I had my first world. This when I was only a two-time world champ. Now I'm a 12-time world champion now. This one I only had two belts. So I think that Savannah Marshall really doesn't. If she had some accomplishments to compare to mine, Olympic gold medals, you know, world titles, she could talk. She could talk the talk that she's talking, but she haven't
Freeweight world
accomplished nothing to be
champion,
talking
12
to
world
me.
titles.
Yeah,
Right.
she can't. She's the one who's not humble. She hasn't accomplished nothing to be speaking of me or about me the way that she does. and it's never going to sit well with me, and she hasn't accomplished nothing. I'm glad that she's knocking girls out, but if I will fight girls on 3 days' notice and a week's notice and girls from 147 pounds, I would knock them out too.
Kakura, what's that? Musa, salam alaikum, brother. He says, I'm an American living in the UK and I'm out here repping hard, letting them know that the GWOT is here. Marshall is not ready. They're all coming in there. Lauren Davis, thank you for the £5. You are an inspiration in and out of the ring. Well done for talking about those who came before you, Riker and Wolf, etc. You're the only one doing it. So props to you for representing. And why do you call like these female fighters of the past? Why do you mention these female fighters of the past? This
Because they did help pave the way. They didn't get a chance to fight in the Olympics, but I feel like their work in the pros did bring light to women's boxing. So with Lucia Riker and Wolf, Layla Ali, Christy Martin, they were doing that, but I don't think that they had much to do with the Olympics being added to women's boxing. But I do feel like all of them dropped the ball when it like comes to promoting women's
okay.
boxing
Uh,
in the pros.
it's like
I feel like they're yeah.
a
Go
lot of
ahead.
people don't mention Kirsty Martin. Kirsty Martin was. I mean, the she could fight, man. I remember like being as a kid watching her fight. She could
She
she
was
could
tough.
she could
She
fight.
was a
She could
household
fight.
name too.
Yeah,
Yeah, because she
she
fought
could
on
fight.
undercards of Mike Tyson against
Yeah,
strippers.
yeah. But I'm saying Lucia Riker, when it came to skills, she was badass, man. I swear down, she was very talented fighter, very talented fighter. So I'll give you props for mentioning those who came in the past. Country Don says, "What current fighters?" Okay, Country Don, this is my bona fide. This is my longest. Me and this guy's been friends for 3 years old, right? And he
Oh
says,
shoot.
"What current fighters do does Clarissa enjoy watching?" So, what fighters do you like watching, sis?
Oh man. I like watching Anthony Joshua,
Okay.
Earl Spence, Terrence
Yeah.
Crawford, Shakur Stevenson, Canelo, Ryan Garcia, he's up and coming. Gervonta Davis, myself, of course, I watch my own fights. Amanda Serrano, Katie Taylor. Um, I want to see more of Alicia Baumgartner. She's good.
She could
Love
fight,
watching
huh?
my. Yeah, she can fight. I like seeing Michaela Mayer fight. Um, Keyshawn Davis. He fights similar to Shakur Stevenson. They
Listen,
both come
man.
up on each
I
other.
this time last
Yeah.
year I called one of Keyshawn's fights out. Where was that in Dubai? Right out in Dubai, he boxed on the undercard. Um, who was it? Yeah, it was Carl Frampton. Unfortunate title challenge for the world title, and uh, Keyshawn, I like. He's very talented, very talented fighter. He's got
Also,
great
before
skills.
I forget, Josh Taylor. I like watching him fight some UK fighters like Anthony Yard. He did really good against what's that fighter name that fought against Andre Ward? Kovalov.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
did
yeah.
really good against. He did really good against him. He just gassed out a little bit. Um, trying to think who else. I've actually been. Oh, Richard Richard Reactor.
Oh, your friend Richie, yeah, he had a very good
Yeah.
win last week. He had a very good
He
win
always having
last
good
week.
wins. He always putting dudes to sleep. He be sleeping dudes.
He can
Oh,
punch,
and
man.
Tyson Fury, Dylan White. I'm really I'm more of a boxing head than what people know.
Now you are because you're reading off
Like
names. You're reading off the names there, sis. You're reading them off.
I actually like I watch boxing. Like I watch full fights. Like when I miss a fight, I go back and watch it. And I'm big on watching fights. Like Stephen, like even Stephen Fulton, he's a smaller weight, smaller weight class, but I love watching him fight. Nonito Donaire was one of my favorite fighters growing up, and I can't believe he hasn't retired yet. It's like he retired and come back, and
He's still winning titles.
man, he doing it. He fought the fight against Inu again, right? Is the rematch?
Oh, I heard about his next fight.
Yeah, he said he's gonna fight against Inu again. But
Okay.
it's like I watch boxing. I literally like I watch it. It's crazy that I got other friends and stuff that box who don't even watch boxing. I mean,
You know what? I find that.
like they're boxers, but they don't watch it. I'm like, how don't you watch it? I don't understand it. Like, I'm not missing a fight. I'm going to Katie Taylor, Amanda Serrano. I'll beat her in person. I'm going to Earl Spence versus Ugis. I'm beat her in person. Like, I'm there, and it's just crazy to me. It's like, how are you a fighter but you don't watch fights?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't get that.
I don't know. It's mind blowing.
You know
Mind
what I mean?
blowing to
I
me.
don't get that. And I would say, like, what fighters of the past do you watch, sis?
Well, people don't know that my favorite fighter is Sugar Ray Robinson,
Okay.
and I believe that Joe Louis is right under him. If I had to do my top 10 list overall, I think my top 5 is Sugar Ray Robinson, Joe Louis, Muhammad Ali, Floyd Mayweather, and Roberto Duran. That's my top 5.
That's deep. That's deep.
My
That
top
is
5.
very, very deep. Um, you know, like Sugar Ray Robinson won his first world title against a man called Tommy Bell in 1946.
Same
Um,
here.
Tommy Bell was a really good fight. That was December 20th. Right, Tommy Bell could really fight, and Ray Robinson played with him. And the saddest thing about Ray Robinson is like he's great welterweight fights.
Casey, no footage. No
Yeah,
footage.
no footage. It's mad, right? It's just
It was
crazy.
when he was in his prime. That was his
Yeah,
prime.
yeah.
But he
That
still
was
looked good when he went up to middleweight.
Hell yeah, that's so you
yeah.
can't even imagine like how great he was.
Yeah, he
I
went up
mean,
to
I watched
middleweight.
his
He went up
fight
to
one night.
middleweight in 1951, where he fights Jake LaMotta and he stops him, and that was February 14th, 1951, and that's where he stops him. He's like he just lets off that mad barrage of punches. Ray Robinson was one of my favorite fighters, one of them. But you know,
Everybody that really watches boxing, he should definitely be in the top for sure. Unless
Yeah,
you
unless
just
you're
want to
just a
be
hater.
super biased, right?
Yeah,
yeah.
super biased.
But the mention of Joe Louis, it's gonna be very, very difficult to find somebody who had a better jab than Joe Louis.
A
Joe
better
Louis,
jab and
no, Joe Louis'
footwork.
jab was
The
phenomenal.
dude,
Joe,
he took tap dancing classes as a kid. A
yeah,
heavyweight.
Right.
yeah,
Man, what?
yeah. Joe Louis's jab was a very, very serious jab, and like he would. There's a famous story. I'll tell you something. I won't bore you guys. The like Joe Louis came over to the UK for sparring. Like we're talking like this is about 1948. He comes over here, and like Joe Louis comes over for sparring, and so they're getting a sparring partner for him. And the person who told me this story was a great fighter, Henry Cooper. Henry Cooper famously knocked down Muhammad Ali in their first fight in 1963. And Henry Cooper, he's passed away now. But Henry Cooper told me this story, and he says like, um, this guy came into spar with Joe Louis, and Joe Louis would just like deliberately told to take it easy with the guy because you know you're Joe Louis, like take it easy. So Joe Louis is moving around with the guy, just tapping, just tapping, just tapping. He was just tapping the guy on the arms. Yeah. When the guy finished the spar, he had these big, massive black marks on his arms. He said he couldn't move his arms for 2 weeks. Joe Louis was a serious guy, man. Yeah, Joe Louis was a monster. Incredible fighter. Absolutely incredible fighter. And a joy to watch. And he represented, at that time as well, he represented so much more than boxing. Right? So much more than boxing. But we digress. Anyway, Clarissa, what's the future hold for you? We know you got the gloves are off tomorrow. So I'm just spoiling it for everyone. Oh, shit. Someone just asked me on here. He said, did I hear what Johnny Nelson said about Savannah Marshall versus Claressa Shields? Did you hear that? Did you hear what Johnny Nelson said?
No. What he
No,
said?
Johnny said that. Johnny said live on TV yesterday. Not causing no trouble on Johnny because he's my guy, but I've got to tell you how it is because someone just asked the question. Johnny said that she would beat you, especially on the performance that she put in yesterday. So just remember that when you go into this guy's street,
What?
right?
No,
Right?
Johnny said that.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say to you, Johnny's terrible at calling fights. So that's a compliment. If Johnny Nelson picks someone against you, that means that you're in good stead. because I wouldn't trust Johnny Nelson to pick a bunch of flowers for me, let alone a fight. So don't worry about that. Don't get twisted. A great champion was 7.5 years. He was world cruiserweight champion, but I wouldn't get Johnny to pick a bunch of flowers for me. So Johnny can't pick fights. So don't worry about that.
Oh well, he didn't say that to me. I don't remember him saying that to me.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
you know what?
That's
Look,
it.
I'm. I remember Terrence Crawford being on this interview, right? And these guys were like they're Errol Spence fans and they're Terrence Crawford fans, and there was one guy who told Terrence Crawford, he said, "I think Errol Spence will knock you out." And he said to Terrence Crawford, and Terrence Crawford didn't even get mad. He said, "That's your opinion, but my job as a fighter is to show you different." That's it. And everybody is entitled to their own opinion. I'm not mad that people like Savannah Marshall. I'm not mad that they feel like she's a knockout artist. I'm not mad about that. But my job as a fighter is to just show y'all a difference. I'm not gonna get mad at nobody for saying, "Oh, I picked Marshall to win," or if I ask them, "Oh, who you think will win between us?" Like you don't gotta say me. You can say her. But the thing is, I'm gonna show you that you were wrong, and I've proved a lot of people wrong already because I had the same conversation with people about Christina Hammer. And I asked him about, well, I think she got 11 knockouts. And you only have 2 knockouts. And she got 21 fights. And you got 8 fights. So I think she gonna catch you, champ. I think she can knock you out. And I would look at them and say, it's crazy you think that, but I'm gonna show you different. And I learned that from Terrence Crawford. So shout out to my boy Terrence Crawford, 100 for that, because I'm not mad about nobody's opinion. My job is to show that I'm the best out there. That's it.
Yeah, as we say in the UK, opinions are like assholes because everyone's got one.
Everyone's got one.
Everyone's got one. Everyone's got one. Clarissa, I think we could got another like 10 minutes with you. You know what I mean? We're greatly appreciative. Get your questions in for Claressa Shields, 12-time world champion, free weight division world champion in the house, looking to continue her fantastic run. This is one thing I want to ask you, Clarissa. Are we going to see more knockouts from you? Because you're killing us with the skills, but are we going to start seeing you like cold lamp people? Coach, is that am I okay to ask that question there, Coach?
Yeah. I think she's gonna have a great answer for you too.
We are getting to the point in time where I am about to start knocking people out. Because we just now seeing it. Well, I'm just now seeing it. I've never really I looked at my fights, but I've never been able to pinpoint. Oh, how do you knock her out, or what could I have done? And the only thing that I can say now is only one thing that's keeping me from knocking girls out, and that's my composure. I think my passion for boxing. I want to just land hard punches, and I know that when I see it on the film, it's gonna look great. But now it's like settling down some more, not throwing so many punches, and actually picking those shots. And I did great my last fight doing that. But it's about finding that right combination with the 2 minutes of the body and the head work to get a knockout. So it's definitely coming, and Marshall may be the first victim. To be honest with you.
Okay, okay. But I'm gonna go back because like I liken this fight to Ray Leonard, Tommy Hearns. Talking the first fight and the second fight. In the second fight, what was that? That was June 12th, 1989, when they fought in Vegas. The second fight at super middleweight. Leonard was trying to punch too hard. Like he weren't moving, or he was like trying to set himself to knock out Tommy Hearns because he's fighting off of the fact that he thought that Tommy Hearns had no chin. I wouldn't want you to try and fall into not teaching you how to suck eggs. I don't want you to try and fall into that trap to try and punch too hard, or also to try and punch too hard because you're trying to impress anybody. I think the thing that you must impress is yourself, and I think the way how you box. I'm speaking to certain heads, which I can't. They said, look, oh, I'm telling you that Claressa's going to win the fight, but you can't say on the show, you can't say that I said this to you, right? Because people living in England, they want to work, right? And I was like, all right, cool, no problem.
Just like
And
Johnny want to keep working too. That's what Johnny said.
oh, but Johnny said that on TV. Now Johnny should have been neutral. He weren't neutral, right? But that's what he believes.
Yeah.
But don't worry about that. It's an opinion. I can't begrudge anybody their opinion. That's your opinion. As long as you're not trying to keep food at my mouth or my family's mouth, then we're good. You can have your opinion,
Mhm.
right? I'm saying like because when I was speaking to someone who's a sportscaster as well, he was saying to me like, "Yeah, this is gonna be easy work for you," because he was saying like your IQ and your experience
Yeah.
is head and shoulders above any female boxer alive
Yeah.
today,
Yep.
and that's what someone who's a big sporting journalist. That's what they said to me earlier today. But I, even though I'd like to see like some knockouts and stuff, but I really do enjoy the fact that you complement the technicalities of the things that I used to read about when I was a kid. You know what I mean? And you compliment them. You
Yeah,
compliment them.
and
You compliment it.
I would hate to watch a fight where I got a knockout, but I look like shit the first 2 rounds or the first three, four
Ooh,
rounds. I
ooh,
would
ooh! We're firing
I would
shots
I
there,
would
sis.
I I would hate it. But the fact that I know that I'm gonna go out there, I'm gonna look good, and that the knockouts will come. And we were really close to getting Emma out of there 5, 6 times. And Savannah Marshall, I think we're gonna be able to make an example out of her because even though Emma was younger, I think she's more durable than Savannah Marshall. She was more athletic than Savannah Marshall. She was definitely quicker than Savannah Marshall. And that stuff that Savannah Marshall is not taking into account. All she's thinking about is power, power, power. I'ma knock her out. I'ma knock her out. And it's like you gotta hit me to knock me out. You
Mm-hmm.
gotta land. And with my IQ and my eyes and me being able to watch her not only on TV but now watch her ringside, I ain't even gonna tell you what it's just not it. She know she better train her hardest for this camp. And guess what? They say summertime. That mean her supposed to be fighting. We supposed to be fighting at the end of June, early July. I can guarantee you that we're gonna fight later because she gonna want more time to get ready.
Okay. Okay.
Truth be told.
What's that? Sufemi Dan says, Spencer, do not underestimate the role of Peter Fury. You can't be
Hmm.
asking, you can't be sending they can't be sending that. So I'm gonna go to a coach because they're speaking about coach. I'm gonna go to Coach Tucker. Coach Tucker, what do you think of the role of Peter Fury?
Good coach, knowledgeable.
Speak up, bruv, speak up so we can get you.
I think I give props for the dude. He's a good coach, great coach. Done great things. With another fighter. This is totally separate. Um, he got to work with her attributes, and I don't think. And this is no diss to him. I don't think that nobody would be able to coach Savannah to a victory over Clarissa.
Yeah.
Nobody.
Okay, okay, okay. Wayne McClary says, Spencer, don't you think Savannah has a good boxing IQ? Listen, I do think I think she's an
Nope.
intelligent fighter. I'm not going to simply here and say she's not. I really do think Savannah Marshall is an intelligent fighter. I
I
think
can't.
that,
I
yeah,
can't agree with that. I can't
no,
agree with
yeah, but
that
you're
because
not meant
because I
to.
because I've beaten
You're not meant to.
girls. No,
You're not
because
meant to.
it's girls who I've beaten who I beat easy. She never has the right game plan, or she can't. That's what it is. She can't execute the right game plan. See, it's things that I know that I'm not gonna say right now. But no, she doesn't. And you know I'm a realist. I'll really tell you some stuff right now. But to be a complete fighter, you must have great offense, great defense, great IQ, great combinations. You must know how to fight on the outside, mid range, inside. That's all I'm gonna say about that.
So to answer your question, Wayne McCleary, um, I do think she's got good boxing IQ. Didn't say great boxing IQ. The question was, did you think she got a good boxing? I think she got good boxing IQ, right? But obviously, Claressa Shields, the GWOT, doesn't agree with me, and that's good that she
Hmm.
doesn't agree with me. But I'm just saying, I think she got good IQ. Next
Yeah,
question.
yeah.
We
Good and great. Two huge is too wide of a margin. Good and great. I admit she good. She has good
yeah,
IQ.
Sure,
I
exactly.
admit
sure,
that. I admit
sure.
that by her composure, and I can see. And I look into eyes. I look into body language as well. And so she got good. She got good IQ, but great great and good, it's a huge difference. And
Okay.
like she said, she got hit her.
Yeah, 100%. Warren Williams says, Spence, can we ask her if we can get this fight at 12 3-minute rounds? Now, I want to answer. Yeah, I would love to see female boxing not be 2-minute rounds, to be real. I would love to see women boxing being 3-minute rounds.
I think when people talk about this, I'm kind of like in between because I believe it should be equal fight time, equal TV promotion, equal pay, right? But then also too, it's like when you have trained so many years to fight at 2 minutes, I believe that going from fighting for 20 minutes to fighting 36 is a big jump, and it is. I believe that us women right now that all the world title fights should be 10 3-minute rounds for the next couple of years, and then after the next couple of years, the girls coming up behind us can fight for those extra 2 rounds, and then it can be 12 rounds for 3 minutes, just like the men. But I think right now, the women who fighting for world titles should definitely fight 3 10-minute rounds. Well,
Okay.
10 3-minute rounds just to close the gap. But
Okay.
I don't think we should jump from
10 to
20
12.
minutes
Yeah.
to 36. I think
Yeah.
it's too big of a jump,
Yeah.
and you really have to get your body and your mind prepared for that. So
Yeah,
I'm comfortable with
but the
having
thing
my
about
world
this,
title
Coach,
fights
I,
at
I
3 minutes.
know, I know you could do 3. I know you could do 12 threes, you know.
Yeah, I know.
I
But
know
it's
you
like
can
I
do
want
that.
to be able to perform the right way, and I got to put in a different kind of training camp to actually do that. So I think,
I hear that as well, but I
yeah,
just know
yeah,
you. I just know that you could do it.
Right.
I'm just being real. I just know because I know you train that anyway. I know that you spar that anyway. I know you do that. I know you
yeah.
put that work in. I've seen you do your work. I've been in the gym with you. I've seen when you work. So I know that you could do that. So and for me personally, I would like to see that like not even like maybe not 10 not 12 3-minute rounds, but definitely 10 3-minute rounds because there's certain fights that I'm watching in female boxing. I believe like you see your last fight out. If that was a 10 3-minute round fight, you'd have stopped her because
Hit
there's
a
certain
fourth.
times when you was getting warm and then the bell would just go. So
Yeah, yeah, it
that's what I'm
was a
saying.
lot towards the end of the round.
Yeah, then it gives her time to recuperate. Then she came back out, and I know I ain't gonna win, but I'm gonna survive a minute, and I'm gonna try and fight for 30 seconds. And I'm gonna survive the next 30 seconds, and then the round's gonna go.
Smart man. You a smart man, brother.
Right, man. I know this game, so when I'm looking at this, I'm saying, you know what? They should just up the thing to 3-minute rounds because there's
Yeah,
a lot.
three,
There's
three,
some,
three
there's
10-minute
some,
rounds for
I mean,
sure.
there's some con artists in boxing that need to be exposed.
Shit.
That's just my opinion, anyway. You know what I mean? That's just my opinion. So when are you going back to America, Clarissa? You know, like the crew got to take you out, but it's got to be in the evening because it's Ramadan, so I'm fasting right throughout the day. But yeah, we got to take you and Coach Tucker out and show you. You know how we roll. You know how we roll when we're out in London, anyway. So yeah, you know. We have them.
I still got my C2 stuff too.
Yeah, exactly. So we got to send the
I think
cards.
no, I think it's C4. Was it C4?
No, it's Arc C2, but yeah,
Okay.
we're gonna have to go send you a vehicle and go take you and coach out and let you go see a different side of London and let you come show love to a couple of the boxing gyms out there because it'd be great to see the fantastic 12-time world champion in 3 different weight classes. You know what I mean? Clarissa the GWOT Shields. Big up Coach Tucker. Thank you so much for touching the fight is right. Like I said, my brother from another mother, Baba Tundi, he's on here somewhere, but he's not on the show
Indeed.
because he's in camp. And he's also bleaching those teeth because his teeth are looking very, very white. Peace, 2 fingers. Lots of love, man. Thanks for every single person for coming on the show. As we end in closing, you know the rules. Dream it, believe it, become it. Come on
Become it.
down. Peace, 2 fingers. Lots of love from my sister from another mister. You know what I mean? And my brother from another mother, Coach Tucker. Big up yourself, bruv. Thank you for blessing the show. And we are
Of
out.
course. All right, y'all.